Hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back to another episode of Midnight Oil Motorsports. My name's Ian. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time tuning in the channel, thanks for giving me a try. For those tuning in who are repeated viewers, you've seen this car in the background. This is my 2017 Mazda Miata RF Club. So what do you think we're gonna do today? Something cool, some cool mod, something fun? No. I broke my car at an autocross, of all things. Launched the car a little hard, and well, I think this speaks for itself here as I meander over the other side of the camera. Broke a motor mount. Today, we're doing motor mounts. And, unfortunately, the dealer only part here, motor mount bracket. Snap that right off too. So today, we're gonna go over why that happened. This car is only 6 years old. It's only got about 20,000 miles on it. Now, albeit the past 8,000 to 10,000 miles have been pretty hard. But we're gonna go over why this happened. We're gonna go over how to do it, kinda. I'm not very good at explaining, and camera angles are hard because I've only got one camera and limited lights, but we're gonna do our best here. So, stay tuned. Thanks for being patient. I'm trying some new things here. We're gonna see what works. Obviously you can tell I've already done the swap already. This is in the future, but very high stress because tomorrow I need to be on the road. I'm going to an event my buddy's holding. He holds the Daily Drift Competition Series. Now, I don't drift, but I do go and I staff the event for him. This year, he is hosting a staff day, which means the staff can come and bring out their cars, and we're doing a half autocross and half drift session. Now, I'm not doing the drift session, but I will do the autocross section because the place we're going to, US Air Motorsports Park up in Shawano, Wisconsin, looks like a lot of fun. I've gone there to watch drifting. I've seen autocross there, but I have not driven it myself. So I think it'll be fun. But I've been ordering this part Monday, and it is now Thursday night. I need to be packed and ready to go, so after work tomorrow, I can just shoot up to Wisconsin. This has been stressing me out all week. Unfortunately, it's come down to this. And I was supposed to do it on Tuesday, and it is now, like I said, Thursday. So, let's get into it. All right, so here we are in the engine bay of the car. You can see, actually right in the middle there, let me try to get my finger on it, right, boop, there. That is where that motor mount bracket is. You can see it's not whole there. That's not supposed to be like that. So, it broke. Now the way it broke is kind of interesting, and I'm going to end up taking it out and kind of explaining what happened here. But as far as this portion of the video goes, let's just get this thing the heck out of here. Bunch of 14mm bolts, and really nothing too crazy. Only thing is, I've got this Veris Engineering air oil separator, which is very, very important for direct injected cars, and I had to move it out of the way. So other than that, this is pretty straightforward. So let's get after it. So now actually underneath the car, I wanted to show you this as well. You can actually see right here that the rubber mount also ripped, and yeah, there's quite a bit wrong here. From underneath the car, you can see that we can get to our bracket bolts pretty easily. There's one there, one up slightly higher up here that is out of frame, sorry, and then another one to the right over here. Then the other motor mount bolts, very, very accessible from underneath. There are, I believe, just two of them. No, I'm sorry, there's three of them. And you can actually see two of them right there, and then there's one more in the back. Those are the two pieces we got to replace. Other than that, things to note here, once the upper bracket is loose, so that nut on top, which, I'm sorry, you actually see right up there, Maybe I can circle it in post, I don't know. But once that's loose, you got to support the engine from the bottom. So you take a jack up from the oil pan very, very gently. Doesn't need to be that high either. And then from there you can unbolt everything else, and just so everything's all supported. So, all right, let's get into it. And then there is another bolt right here holding this bracket on for the AC compressor, I believe. No, it's also for the first line, excuse me. But these bolts have to come out as well because so we get the bracket off, these bolts need to, because we need it. So just be careful with it because it is solid, so you don't really want to bend it too much. And then this harness is in the way of the last bolt right here. Actually, you can't see it back up here in order to get this off. So looks like these are probably 10s, this is probably 12, and the easiest way to take these off is just going to be from underneath with a wrench. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's start off with the bracket. Here we've got the bracket, sits in the car like this, if the motor is my hand. You can see here, we are missing a piece of bracket. Looks like the shock from the motor, me going full throttle, had lifted the motor, impacted the nut, which most likely was probably loose, and then sheared it. Just came right off. No weird uneven wear pattern here. You can see a little bit of contact here. So get that to focus. Two little discolored marks right there. That's from the contact of this rubbing a little bit. Now that could have also been from the drive home. It could have also been from the mount being loose. Unfortunately, I don't know because it's currently broken. Now replacement part number for that, as of 2024 here, we have got, well, that's nice. Let's see here. I'm just gonna read it off here. It's an ND Nancy David 5 James 39031. Give this an open. So we can take a look at the part, see what it's supposed to look like here, okay? There's supposed to be a detent here, and actually, looking at this compared to the old one, this is a whole lot thicker than the old one. So this has been revised, which is great because this was a concern to me. To take a look at the other side. I'll take a look at the other side later and see how it's different here. We can see that's a little bit different on the back here as well. Okay, mainly by this this casting here. But overall shape is the same, right? And got the same curve and everything. Want to make sure we have the correct side here. So this is the left position, which is the driver's side. The left and the right in the car is as if you're sitting in the driver's seat. So just think, okay, driver's side is left side. So at least in the United States, of course around the world is different. Left side would be your passenger side if you're on the other side of the pond. Now, this detent here is meant for a detent on the other piece so that you can make sure that you have everything all lined up properly. Now, let me bring you over to that. We have the motor mount, right? Which is now a two-piece motor mount. This is not supposed to happen. Normally you see this happens on a high horsepower applications, you see them on old motor mounts, but this is relatively new-ish. I mean, sure, the car is 6 years old and it's only got 20, actually I think it's just turned over 20,000 miles. How did this happen, right? So what I can imagine would happen, and again, this is bolted to the car like this. Oh, you know what? Let's compare the old to the new to see if there's any revisions made. Normally this rubber would sit in here like this, right? There's this detent here, which I had mentioned before, lines up to the detent here. So this sits in here. Oop, come on now. Like so, right? So that this doesn't twist. It's not supposed to twist anyways, but it does a little bit. But again, it's broken, so. Comparing the old to the new here, see if there's been any revisions made. Let me grab that razor blade. Oh, and part number for the lower engine mount here is NA Nancy Alpha 5 Frank 39050. Again, this is as of July of 2024. If revisions are made, they do change the number. Ta-da! One piece. Very cool. Does not look like any revisions were made here. This is even the same casting number. You can see on the bottom here. It says 39050, right? And then right here you can see 39050. Same exact casting. They have not changed it whatsoever. Does not look like the rubber's any different. This one was manufactured in March of 23, and this was manufactured in December of 20, no, not December, I'm sorry. This would be November of 2016. Well, you can tell that, right, is this right here. It's a 16, and there are 12 spaces around it, and each dot that is marked is what year it's from, or what month it's from, and 16 is obviously the year it was made. So you can see that this one on the bottom here, I really hope this focuses, it probably won't, but it says 23, and then there's three dots, which means January, February, March. Pretty simple, pretty cool. That's the way that Mazda does it anyways. Some manufacturers are different, but this is the way I know. Mazda, Ford, GM is like that to an extent. Honda's different. Honda uses a different system. It's kind of complicated, but whatever. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. So let's quit running my mouth here and let's get these in the car. Oh yeah, left. Yeah, good stuff. Let's do it. Probably should mention here too. Sorry, I ended the clip. But so we've got this that sits in the car, right? Make sure that they all jive together and everything. Don't want anything, you know, binding up or whatever. There's going to be a little bit of place, you can get it in place. But yeah, what most likely happened is the nut that sits on top of here was loose. So every time I would floor, or every time I would accelerate, this would torque like so. And then when I finally went and was doing autocross, this probably smacked the aluminum really hard. And then the metal here on the bottom sent a shock to the weakest point, which would be right here. And then just, you know, splinter cracked it there and there. So, word to the wise, just be careful when doing spirited driving. If you are sliding a lot, drifting, if you are doing launches at autocross, stuff of that nature, your drivetrain components may come loose, right? Because the Mazda drivetrain uses a PPF, and the whole thing vibrates a whole bunch. And apparently, I found out that ND1s may have come with loose PPF bolts from the factory. Not good. I checked all those, and guess what? They were loose. In fact, about 25 to 40 foot-pounds loose. Not good. Check your PPF bolts. I've never touched this car. I only do oil changes, right? So just check them. Real easy. Real easy. Let's get these in the car now. Okay, so I just ran those in with an impact real quick on like the first setting so that they're snug in there. But you always want to make sure that you torque your bolts to spec. All right, so those 3 bolts, but I'm sorry, you can only see 2 of them right now. That one, the other one's behind the steering column. Those 3 bolts, according to the MX-5 Global Cup Challenge rules, those need to be torqued to 25 to 33 foot-pounds. So I got my torque wrench set to that. All right, we got our lower mounts bolts in. There's one behind here, you're gonna have to trust me on that. We got our upper mount bolt in. Sorry for the glare, but it's right up there. Upper bolt, torque spec, 45 to 55 foot-pounds. The lower bolts down there, those are going to be, I believe it is also 25 to 33 foot-pounds. Double check, yes. 25 to 33 foot-pounds. So, yep, gonna torque those to spec right now, and yeah. Then, besides the undershield, pretty much done here. All right, car's on the ground. You got your undershield on. You got your wheels on. So what's the last thing you do? Well, that's why I got this nifty-difty tool here. always torque your wheels to spec. I don't care what the internet tells you. I don't care where you've seen it other places, seen it at shops. Uggy Duggies are not a torque spec, okay? If I'm driving up 3 hours north to Wisconsin, for example, and I see a wheel fly off on the highway, guess what? It's bad news bears, because these cars don't come with spare tires anymore. What am I gonna do? Nothing. There's not a whole lot a shoe goo is gonna do, or shoe goo, what do you call it? Slime. Not a whole lot of good slime's gonna do when there's a wheel that is now heading 80 miles an hour, shooting some way, and across like 6 lanes of traffic. I've lost a wheel before, it's not fun. Anyways, also on track, you know, if I'm doing, you know, this is going to an autocross, so it's not gonna be as fast paced, but let's say I'm at Autobahn Country Club in Joliet and I'm doing about 100 miles an hour on the back straight on Autobahn South and I lose a wheel, that's scary. That could possibly total this car. And all because I couldn't take the 15 seconds to do that, right? Torque your wheels to 120-ish foot-pounds and you'll save yourself a whole bunch of time, money, and a headache. So just do it. But hey, other than that here, be very gentle setting that on the ground. We're done. And this car's ready to go. So I'm kind of short on time here, so I'll just kind of wrap this up here, but torque everything to spec is very, very important. The process of taking it all apart or putting it together is just the same as taking it apart, but in reverse. Had to jack up the motors a tiny bit more so I could snake that mount in there because it wasn't 2 pieces. But other than that, we're done. Awesome. So with that, here's the outro, I think. Am I done? Yeah, I'm done. If you like the content, give it a like. If you didn't like the content, give it a dislike. If you want to say something, say something. There's a comment section for a reason. If you really like the content, consider subscribing. Speaking of subscribers, I just hit a 20 subscriber milestone. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's about 19 more people than I thought would subscribe. Know that one person subscribing is not my mother. She doesn't watch my content. So, yeah. Thank you again for tuning in. If it's your first time, again, thanks for watching through the whole video. I know sometimes it's kind of long and monotonous, but, you know, some people like to see it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And just remember, no one's going to work on your car unless you do or you pay somebody. So I'm tired. I'm going to go eat some food. Peace out. Have a good night or morning or whatever else you're doing. Later.